1, 2, hey. 1, 2, 1, 2, hey. Listen, yo, hey. I think the devil tryna test me. Got the groupie and the bestie. Don't cheat it with the light skin. I've been the groupie and the bestie. Don't cheat it with the light skin. I think the devil tryna test me. Got the groupie and the bestie. Don't cheat it with the light skin.
It's another beautiful weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of Zilile. Another beautiful day to celebrate and, of course, dance to Zambian music. This is your coolest girl on TV. My name is Rhoda Mlinga, of course, reporting for duty. For sure. Today is going to be an amazing edition because I've got a very special guest in the studio who's going to be joining me on the other side. Do not forget to send your text messages and, of course, your comments on my Facebook page. That is Rhoda Mlenga. Thank you so much for the love, for the support, and everything that you guys have been doing for the growth of the page and the brand as well. I thank you so much. So in case you want to be updated with what's going on in the world of music, who's releasing an album, who's working in the studio, of course, that is my page. That is where you have to be to get all the information that you need. All right, so this is how we kickstart our show for today. On the other side, I'll be back with my special guest in the studio. You will never guess who. See you on the other side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did tell you that I'll be having a very special guest in the studio today. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I do have B-Flow. Mr. B-Flow, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I haven't seen you in a long time. How long has it been?
I haven't seen you in a while. It's been like
10 years.
10 years.
10
years name up when somebody says I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know it's been 10 years since you and I did a music video together the first time. So it was 2013. Yeah, but we did one 5 years ago together. That was the last one we did. You've been a regular feature in my music videos.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 2018.
Yeah,
that was the last video we did at Ishan.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys don't know, B-Flow has been my friend for a very long time now, but we lost touch, Pajapakat, because he had a lot of things going on. Obviously, I had a lot of things going on, and this is like a reunion and just catching up on what's been happening. But you know, I watch your social media all the time.
I follow you too, so I also get to see what's happening. Yeah.
And now you've got an album that almost everybody's talking about. We'll get to that later, but right about now, how have you been doing? How are you mentally, physically?
Yeah,
we see you working out.
I'm in a very good space right now. The physical health has got an effect and a trickle down effect on your mental health as well. So I've been trying to keep myself busy, even with like the physique, and what that does in turn is that it helps me do better, even like in the way my focus, my discipline, and even just to have like some sort of like sanity. Sometimes it gets so busy. Ima funta sometimes situation, but like that with a gym, it really helps. So I'm in a very good space and I'm happy. I've been recording music finally because the last 7 years I was so busy with lots of things, traveling the world and many other things, and then to get back to a point where I'm studio na record the music, it makes me so happy. Like, oh wow, I can still do music. Yeah.
I was actually about to say that because I could see that obviously you are focusing more on you being an activist and sending positive messages out there.
Yeah.
But how has it been for you and that impact on your music as well?
Yeah. I feel like we once chatted about this some years back, where you were asking me to say how is the activism affecting the music. The music was affected, definitely. Thank God I've got some classics in terms of like my catalog. I've got music that to this day I can still perform a song I did 7 years ago, like Dear Mama, and people love it so much. I can perform a song I did 10 years ago, like Cry of a Woman, Side Plate, Something About a Woman, and people still love it. I can perform a song I did like 15 years ago, like bubblegum lover, boom, boom, and people still love it.
Yeah.
So that saved me from extinction. Yeah, because I was still actively performing wherever I went. It was still like activism with music, advocacy with music. So it's been very interesting. It's been quite busy. I know that after 2016, after I just did Dear Mama, I went on a tour of the US. I did 6 states, came back to Zambia. Immediately, I received another offer to say, we loved what you did, come back. Wow. Then I went back, and I don't know if you remember, I did a tour with Queen Latifah and Common. Yes. Yeah, then in Africa, I did a tour with Mikasa, and then Mikasa and Proverb. And then there was a time I had to be in Europe. I did Netherlands, I did Denmark, I did Sweden, I did Norway. There was a time I did Malaysia with Mampi.
You traveled around the world, did you?
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling actually. Yeah. So all that took away from my studio time. Yeah, and then also I think it also took a lot of like my time to also be able to like settle down. Yeah, like Palasti, I also want like love, you know.
No, people give you a hard time. When are you married?
Big time. There was a joke.
Friend is married. When are you married?
There was a joke that was going around where they were saying that they wanted to start donating matu kwacha for my chilangamo, you know.
I remember that people gave you a tough time.
Yeah,
the pressure was getting worse. Every time, you know, you would congratulate your friend on something, people were like, "Wamene will be flow."
All the time. You are next. And it's like I had no right to congratulate someone because the moment I just do it publicly, like on my comments chat, oh, congratulations my brother, or congratulations this one and this one. Yeah. What about you? What are you still waiting for? Hey, settle down. Hey, guys. You know, and in Africa we love that, but you know, with love, you've got to just take your time. I would never force anyone to get married or try to settle down when they're not ready. I can never do that.
Definitely.
That's stressful.
Yeah. All right. So one thing I also want to find out from you, I think this is a struggle for a lot of artists that you know, well, in your intake, lack of better word, like you've come with a lot of artists, you know, but for them to keep up their name, their music, people tend to just forget. But how has it been? How have you managed to stay relevant? Biflo is a household name. Wherever you go, you still perform old songs. People sing along.
True.
On Facebook, you're still relevant. You still have a huge number of followers. People still comment on your things. How have you managed to keep up that?
That's interesting because yesterday we were shooting a music video and we were in Chawama. So the guys that were shooting, for some reason, like they didn't know like how famous I am, like out there, for lack of a better term. So for them, they were just thinking like, because we've been shooting with other artists, we go to different places and it's just normal. But the moment like I just stepped out of the car, like how like the crowds just came, it made it so hard for us to even shoot the video because so the guys were in shock. So one of them came to tell me, I had no idea that this is how much you are loved, like by the streets. Because for me, I would expect that since you had been quiet for some time, people wouldn't even know you like that. But yes, kamwana kali so, Alex Koso, Bakuru, Bankote, women, mothers coming with their children. Let's take a picture. Video. So the guy was really shocked. And then he told me something. He said, Wakamba, you should be thankful to God for making it possible for you because trust me, tima shooting my videos yama artists fambi kaenda nawo places yosiana. It's never like this. Like we've never seen anything like this. It's our first time experiencing this. So when he said that, it hit me hard. I was like, gratitude is a must. It's something to be thankful for. And honestly, I don't even know what the secret is. I just think it's the grace of God. If I have to play a role myself, it's just understanding that it's not my own doing. Like I'm not the one that gave myself the talent. I'm also not the one that gave myself the platform that I have to be able to spread a message through my music. So nije chati kunkala che humble, because if I don't humble myself, I try to lift myself, God can humble me. But if I humble myself, God can definitely lift me. So it's a matter of just understanding that
Yeah.
there's nothing too special about being famous. It's just a privilege that any other person can have. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so let's get to the videos. We're going to be doing a top 5 videos from you, obviously, and just going down the memory lane and reminding ourselves that there's quite a number of, things that Biflo has done. So let's start with, I think side plate would do.
Okay,
Yeah?
number
Or Cry
5.
of a Woman. Yeah.
Number 5. Yeah, okay, we
Let's
can
start
go
with
with
Cry of a
Private
Woman.
Woman.
Yeah, so let's go. We'll be back on the other side. This one features Judeo. So obviously, you married, and people sometimes would expect that there's certain things that have changed. Maybe you won't be as outgoing as you were because now you have a partner. You
Yeah.
need to consult before you decide. Has anything changed?
Nothing much, just a bit. Because they say marry your best friend, marry your friend so that they are able to understand beforehand what you go through.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of dating as well and taking your time. Because when you're dating, you will get to understand your friend's schedule. Like, oh, this is what they do. These are the things I can do to support them. Can I keep up with or put up with this?
Yeah.
Or maybe sinza kwanisa. Yeah. So my wife is a very understanding person, and she's been very supportive even through like the recording of my album. Very understanding and even helping me with concepts. Like when I did the Chizali giveaway, you saw that thing I was doing on the street where like I would just go and ask people like, do you know me?
saw that.
Do you know the title of the album I'll be releasing? Chizali Muliwe. That was literally her concept. So
Yeah.
big ups to you, my love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on who you settle with.
Yeah.
That's what may cause those changes to happen. If there are changes that have happened now, they're very, very minor. Just the understanding that, oh, there's a bit of like accountability to someone I'm with, and there's need for me to remember that I can't just be saying, it's 23 hours, I'm just out there. I have to see that, well, I also have a friend that needs to spend time with me this side, so I have to be home. But nothing much. I mean, it's a matter of communication.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be late today because I'm at the studio.
Have you spoken about protecting her from social media and the negative impact that it comes with? I say this because I see a lot of male artists.
Yeah.
It's their problem, but they want to, fans want to drag in their
Yeah.
spouses, because this is your wife. We're also going to put her in your problems.
Yeah. We didn't even really have to do much talking because my wife is already an introvert and she's not like a social media enthusiast like that. Yeah. So even like we would joke about things like fans would joke about, so Mozambique lako chat Mrs. Biflo page. Yeah. And for me, I knew that that's not something that can happen because for her, she was just never even comfortable in the first place with anything to do with social media. And thankfully, she's also not one of those who would say like, why is someone postako in like someone fucking up a status. There wasn't anything like that. So it helped me a lot because she's already introverted herself. So she's not even interested like that.
Definitely.
Her, she just supports. Okay, okay, that's good. I'm happy for you.
All right, let's get back to the music because we have quite a number of videos that we'll be playing today. And this second one that we're going to play for you is titled
Side Plate, featuring Maki2, Chef 187, and Slap D.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be back on the other side.
Oh. Now I was debating between Achani and Nomo Kawilo, don't worry.
All right. So that was a video, obviously Side Plate. And of course, I was in that particular video. I think that is the video you were referring to.
Yes.
I was a model by then.
Yeah. Imagine
and when I grew up.
When I knew you, actually, you were a model for a university.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't want to mention it.
No, you can mention it.
Okay. Because I also went there. Our school NIPA.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're still having a conversation with Biflo, so you can come through in the comment section and give us your comments. If you want to say hi to Biflo, he's definitely here. He will answer you back. Not if you're about to posting up a Facebook you have to wait until Akushta reply. Direct, he's going to answer you back. And of course, there's a number of artists that have come from Kawe. There's the Robertos. Actually, I didn't know that Roberto came from Kawe until
Really?
he mentioned it on the interview.
Oh, okay.
There's Gemma.
So automatically, when you say Roberto, also say General Oz, because these are
General
brothers.
Ozzy, yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
There's quite a number of artists.
J-Max, Yo Maps, from way back you can say Amy Roots, Ayama Factor, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bob Molly, Mr. Mainza. There are so many. Even Afunika at one point was from Kabwe in Chingola. There are so many. Exile. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even Slap D.
Even Slap D.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Seems like Kawe has really given birth to a lot of superstars.
Right.
But how's the union? Like you guys, like where you come from? How's your relationship with other artists from Kawe?
I think I have a good relationship with, whether it's Dreams, whether it's Maps, whether it's J-Max. I literally have almost all these people even on my album.
Yeah.
I think at individual level, people get along with whoever they can get along with.
Yeah.
But if you look at it like collectively, to be very honest, I think their relationships are not so healthy at the moment. So like I can see like there's a bit of some tension here and there among some of the artists that came from Kabwe.
Yeah.
But I also see like individually people getting along, but collectively I see like it's more like everybody has gone to be busy with trying to make it at national level. Then once you make it at national level, you're now going at trying to push at international level. So it's like you're focused on your own thing. But I think that there's still much more that can be done to like unify us, so that we can work together even more for people to even understand, because not even many people know what you know, that there are a lot of artists from Kawe. Yeah, but if they see us together, they might be able to understand that Kawe pretty much runs the music industry.
Yeah, definitely.
Small town with a very big impact.
Yeah. And obviously right now, one of the biggest artists that we have in the country is actually from Kawe.
Right.
And we did see that he's also part of the album.
Yes.
Did you sit down and think of, okay, who am I going to include in the album? Because obviously people were expecting the usual Shefi.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, so what happened was, because I also move with time. So the same way people like Makitu move with time, people like Shefi move with time as well. So in my moving with time, I also like sat down with different people. Like Yo Maps is one person I had a lot of conversations with about music today, because I would want to like advise him, for example, to say, now you are in your prime. Now that you're in your prime, this is time for you to make the right moves. I may not really maybe go into like the very personal things, but like on the professional side of things, where I would say, now that you're here, the onus is on you to give us like a better trajectory for the industry, because once you do that, you set the bar high. It means that the next big guy who's coming will pick it up from there and also take it to the next level. But if you treat the business like, the same way they paid everybody else is how they will be paying me. So you need to understand your value and your price in this moment, because everybody wants you. And because everybody is yearning for a Yo Maps show or feature at the moment, this is time for you to create value on yourself. So in those conversations, I could see that he was hearing, and of course, maybe he might have even other people advising him the same. And I can see that he's done so well when it comes to things like pricing and whatever, and that's very good for the industry. So in the process also, we ended up talking about music, and he would also advise me based on what he knows about the current times. Like, this is how we push music now. Kulimanje ma streaming platforms, my music yani nzochokera pa ma CD. Not ma CD, ka promo. Hello, road the promo, shosta, ndani. So from that, we were able to sit down and plan and talk about, what kind of sound do you think I can also work with? Can I also contribute a beat? He makes me this beat. So like touch and go, he's the one that made the beat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you have people, talk to you the way that you spoke to him or other young artists in the industry to advise you on this is what you need to do in your prime time?
Unfortunately, no. And that's the reason I took it upon myself to be talking to people like Yo Maps because I never had someone telling me that. And sometimes when you're in that moment, you tend to be stubborn. You're stubborn because imambeka monga ndi wa first kunkala po famous. Yeah, usually it always feels like that. For example, if the Tuma groupies are coming, the Tuma girls are telling you you're the most handsome person or artist I've ever seen. Naye wabiri basozi batikamini kaja kanauza po winangu, kapena kanauza po Pirato, kapena kanauza po Makitu. Yeah, so that's what happens. So for me, what I do is sometimes I'll just say I will advise him or chimkalipe or azande or aganze mongati nchani na hivyo kunuza vaso ni jealous or nchani, why is he telling me, why didn't he tell himself or shan. I'm like, I would have played my part. Mwine kakankala, when you do like a self introspection, you realize that but that person had a point. Yeah, so for me, I feel it's important for me to say it because other people will think that you can't tell someone who's in their prime how to behave because they won't understand. I've heard people say that. Like, I know, just don't advise him. He won't understand. Right now, I'm there to monga maybe alipaja. But for me, I'm like, that's my young brother. I'm going to tell him. Yeah.
I think also from the time that you're coming from, you've been part of two generations,
yes, exactly,
of music. From where you're coming from, I think one of the biggest problems that was there in the industry for a lot of artists, women and drugs, alcohol. How did you survive that tsunami?
Yeah,
because when you bring up the name Biflo, obviously, it's one of the most respected names in the industry when you talk about discipline.
Thank God for
making the right decisions.
I think it all, for me personally, I think it started from like my background, the upbringing, like the role that my mom played in instilling values in me. What type of person I was going to become in future was all dependent on that that background, that foundation. So that really, really helped. But also, I had to be deliberate about the things I was doing. So, for example, when I decided that I'll be making songs like Side Plate, I shouldn't find myself being the one having side plates again. Yeah, so it's like self-accountability. Like, if you're going to say this, you also need to live by it. Because you can't be on a billboard saying, say no to gender-based violence, but you're the one who's actually doing it. Yeah, so like that helps me also to behave better and to act better. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, not even a bit. But I've just been accountable to myself. And I've also made deliberate decisions just to even stay out of trouble. Sometimes people have to be in these groups and you're causing trouble. But sometimes just being a loner helps me. Then I'll link up with people when it's time to work with them.
And guess what? My director actually said that before you came from the radio studio. He said, one thing I like about Biflo is that he doesn't cause trouble with anyone.
Oh yeah, I stay out of trouble. I stay out of trouble.
That's one thing. But let me tell you something. I've never told you this before. I think way back, my mom trusted you as my friend. So I would tell her we're going to shoot a video with Biflo and then I would lie. Every time I said
you would use me,
my mom would say, okay, that's fine.
So
my mom thought, okay, that's fine.
Wow, interestingly, I've heard similar things from guys who say that if they mention my name to their wives or their girlfriends that they're going to be with Biflo, things will be good. Like they'll be allowed to go, okay, you're with him, it's fine, you're fine. So now it's like they would even abuse that relationship and just say, do you know what I mean? But they are somewhere else or something.
I would actually even carry books and say, we are going
to... Oh, wow.
We're going to, for an organization. A pass for
anyway, okay, that's good. That's good that I've had that kind of impact. I'm humbled.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's get back to the music. We still have more videos that we're going to be playing for you today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to check out a video shot by NXT and with a cameo and a very special acting, appearance by Rhoda Mulenga. This one is called Atishani by Biflo, based on a true story.
All right, so the brother man here is responsible for Sunda Station, and obviously when you announced, the album title, a lot of people were like, Sunda Station,
yeah,
Bakabwe. What why did you name it that? What was the whole inspiration behind the Sunda station?
Okay, two things. One, because I'm from Kabwe and I know that there's been this joke about Kabwe where people say hapa Kabwe ni pasunda station chabe, palibeba mevi machitikapo. And then the other part is who I am as an artist. I represent empowerment and inspiration.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell a story of self-worth where I tell Rhoda to say, do not allow any man to treat you like a bus stop where they'll just stop for a while to relieve themselves and then they go elsewhere, their final destination where their heart is. Because it happens a lot that someone will come and lie to you, promise you heaven on earth and tell you, Rhoda, you are the best thing that has ever happened to me. And then the guy just wants one thing. And once they get that, they know where their heart is. Like, no, and then they go there. They just use you. Another guy also comes and treats you the same way. Another guy treats you the same way. So I'm like, open your eyes and your ears now and begin to understand that people are using you. Know your worth and don't allow anyone to treat you like a Sunda station. Azaka oneka wamene azaka konda mshemushi. Yeah.
All right. So
it was also like me trying to turn lemons into lemonade. Like where people tease me like, mchoka pasunda station. I'm like, let me make something out of this. And then also it's my way of putting Kabwe out there.
It's a 22-track album.
Yeah.
And I've seen, some of your interviews after you released that album. And one of the things that, people were so vocal about is saying, Mordecai, B-Flow. And in one of the interviews, I think that was Shosta's interview, you said, put some respect
on my name.
And I think that's very true. How do you think your album is doing now? Because the song that people were comparing your album to, I'm sorry to say this, but it's like it was a song that people listened to and that's it.
She's doing violence.
It's like, it's a feel-good song, but
so my album is doing really, really well. And interestingly, especially now, in that moment, there were certain people, like some bloggers, that tried to create like a wrong narrative around my album. And I don't know, there's this thing that's been happening in Zambia where people can use one person to get to another person, like to hurt another person. Like they can use this artist to try and punish this other artist. Like they can just say, I think it's too much of him, so betsa chita, chen support che uyu, timpase vonse, so that you know that kind of thing. Yeah, you even create this disciplinary committee, chakoti, which personally I don't agree with because I think that hard work should be rewarded and appreciated. You can support both of them without necessarily saying that if for this one to exist, this one must die. Yeah, so you can support Mordecai and support B-Flow. You can support Chile One and support Yo Maps. You don't have to say, oh, chifukwa kwa bwera uyu manje atokepo, or even in a company where there are lawyers, you can say that, oh, because there's a new lawyer that has come, this other one should cease to exist. Yeah, so
I feel like it's people that there are people that just hate you for no reason.
Yeah.
And when they see somebody else, they seize that opportunity now.
Others tell me like on social media just that I Junior Obama.
And people will sit down and just hate you because you're doing fine. I mean, you're driving a nice car, you've got a nice house. People will hate you because they don't have the things that you have. I've come to understand the Zambian audience.
That's true. It's like people project their own insecurities and problems on you instead of getting inspired. Like, how does Rhoda achieve this? Why don't I reach out to her? What if I reach out to her and ask her, like, what's your secret to maybe like your longevity, or how come you are relevant, or how come you have achieved this and this? How can I also do it? You'll find that the person you've been hating on might be the person that might even help you with just advice. For me, I've had people who've told me that I used to hate you just naturally, che. But after I spoke to you the first time and I realized how humble you are, you even gave me some advice. It has really helped me. I'm like, there you go. That's what happens when you judge people from a distance.
Definitely. That must stop, but obviously it won't stop now. If you want to be a hater, continue hating.
Yeah, plus we're in a country where there's PhD. Put him down, put her down syndrome.
I
Hey,
remember like your Obama incident.
hey,
Yo,
I
Adrian,
tell you.
who does he think he is? Bro, this
Eh,
Obama thing is even making noise about it. I mean, that
eh,
was the president of the US.
imagine, imagine.
But anyways, there was quite a lot of talk around the album, and people
Mm,
trying to discredit whoever and
yeah,
make it seem as though Bflo has been quiet for some time now. He's back. He wants his album to blow.
yeah,
But surprisingly,
mm,
there's all the songs are good.
yeah.
People
Would
have
you like me
favorites.
to read something for you that I
Yeah.
just like came across today,
Okay.
like on my socials from my phone?
From the phone.
And it's interesting. Like every single day, I am getting people like telling me how they had the wrong perception about my album because of
People.
what they heard
Yeah.
before they could even listen to it. So, like, look at this guy here.
Okay, so this one says, otherwise, I come in peace, Bflo. Forgive me for saying that your album is a flop. I took some time today just to get the main concept of Sunda Station album. I must confess that uliwakule kafie.
So that's what's been
Yeah.
happening. Like, more and more people have just been coming, like, what? I was busy at work or at school. I never took time to listen to your album. Now I've just listened. It's a hit. So like more and more people are just coming on board, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
thankfully so.
I actually heard Touch and Go for the first time after the album was released
Yeah.
in a store. I think it was in town. I was buying something and then they put it on repeat.
Wow.
So people will just get whatever is being said on social media and say, nice Steve Gonda and flop. But you haven't heard any song.
True.
But for
True.
me, I like songs to grow on me, like even an album. Like I'll be listening to this song.
Yeah.
The more I listen to it, the more I love it. And I think those type of songs or music,
Yeah.
that's how people, they are the ones that even last longer.
Yeah, I was with Mimi on QFM, and she was telling me how her and Jay Hughes had been having like this conversation where they were saying it's interesting how Bflo's album has suddenly like started picking up and it started growing on people,
Yeah.
and that's what's been happening. And for me personally, in terms of like history from where I'm coming from musically, I've never been the type of artist that would just like have like an what we call like an easy come easy go type of song where like it just come boom, because what happens when it's like that, it's more like it's bubblegum. It's just for the moment. It's like a trend.
Yeah.
It's just a trend that's just passing like, oh, okay. Yeah, Kwasila. Yeah, but for me, my music has always started from, even like when I first did like Pum Pum Pum, for example, I did that song 5 times. I recorded it with Jerry D, recorded it with Artson, recorded it with Jerry Fingers, recorded it with G Sounds, and then I recorded it with TK, the 5th version. And I was releasing, I tried pushing it, it's not working. Try pushing it, so I'm like, there's something I'm looking for. I know that this song is good and it's big, and it's like it took like 2 years for people to finally come and just pay attention when I did the video. Like, this song is a banger, and then it ended up being like a big song.
Yeah. And actually it has taken us, your whole career not knowing how you do the
Super fantastic and delicious. Zilile. Fire in the wire, play your desire, taking you higher and higher. When we say, chant it on.
I will never get it.
You got it, John Cena. Do not try this at home, or you risk losing your tongue.
People have really tried, we will never get it. But anyways, let's take us to our next video.
Our next video is Sunda Station.
No, before we play Sunda Station,
because we've done.
Oh, let's do Sunda Station, then let's do the last one. So let's go. We'll be back on the other side. Right. So we are still with Bflo in the studio, and of course having a conversation on the Sunda Station album, what he's been doing, and of course what we are yet to expect as the fans of Mr. Bflo, aka Mr. Anyway, so you've been nominated in 2 categories at the Culture Music Awards. Did you expect that?
Yes.
You were expecting it?
Maybe even 3.
But but you're always nominated in like the humanitarian
Yes,
awards.
that's true. That's
Yeah?
true. That's true.
It's like when they're looking at people around, they're like, B-Flow.
Hey, like it's a mess.
It's almost every year. And you've also been nominated under the category Album of the Year. So
which means I should have also been nominated under Male Artist of the Year.
Male Artist
because if I have an Album of the Year, then I should also be Artist of the Year.
Yeah. So that category, you know, you are big giants on your own.
Yeah.
You know, there's Yo Maps, there's Brooke Nolunkumbwa, there is Neo. You know, I'll just leave it open. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. To be very honest with you, my album is very new. It's pretty new. It's pretty much just getting, like, the hype is just beginning now. It's humbling to know that I've been nominated, but I wish it was nominated for next year because it's just literally just come out and I'm still promoting it. I haven't finished promoting it. We are promoting it right now even. And so for me, in all honesty, there's an album there that deserves to win.
Yeah.
We all know it. I'm just not gonna mention it because I don't want no beef. Yeah. But even the artists who are in that category, all of us should just know that. But okay, the album, for now.
Me, that no, guys, I deserve it. You can vote for me, but no. Go this direction.
But I can tell you where the competition is.
Yeah.
I can tell you where the competition should be in that category. Yeah. I think that the competition there should be between Brooke Nolunkumbwa and Try Again. So I think I've preempted a bit which one I'm referring to. Can be one of those two. Yeah.
Okay. Great. I think we'll leave it to the viewers to get to kuzanka kupaya na ma comment section. But anyways, we'll leave it to you guys. You are the ones that are doing the voting. These are radio-based awards. Remember, so you can click on the link and get your vote for your favorite artists as well in some of those categories. But I think we've talked about, you know, almost everything with B-Flow today. I was just happy to see you again. Yeah. And maybe who are your favorite artists at the moment? I know you know, it's kind of hard to pinpoint everybody, but who is B-Flow listening to?
It's really, really hard because there are so many good artists. There are a lot. How many should I mention?
As many as you want.
Okay. So
What's
I think
on your playlist? What are you listening to?
On my playlist, so I'm listening to J-Max. I'm listening to Yo Maps. Sorry, those are from Kabwe already. Yeah, Kabwe. Yeah, I'm listening to those two. I think that there is a lot of potential around some of the new artists that are just like starting out, that are making certain music, and I see that, oh, here there's potential. This person can. There's a guy I listen to. His name is Newman.
Never heard of
Newman did a song, something like Kare na ikatabine or something. Yo binzi wa pakula na liliapo, something very interesting. Like lyrically, he's very, very interesting and talented. I think that Frank Rowe also like has a lot of potential. Good. I think A-Strap has a lot of potential as well. Interestingly, I love Y Celeb, huh? Yeah, I love the kind of material that he puts out. I know, right? Back to the scene. I know.
It's very hard to get Y Celeb.
I think that Zaven is also a very interesting MC for our time. Toela Kaira is a very good artist as well. So many. Yeah.
All right, B-Flow, it's been great having you on Zilile today. Thank you so much.
Did I mention Yo Maps?
No.
Oh, definitely. He's on my playlist. Oh, Chile 1 2.
But is there anything else you would want to say to the fans out there?
All I can say is thank you for the unwavering support. I am humbled. May God continue to bless you guys, and we're on this journey together. So let's just keep moving. Don't worry about what they say. Don't mind them. Imwe, eyes on the ball. Muri wakure kafi. Nenendi wakure kafi.
Take us to the last music.
Alright, so the final one is called Touch and Go, and this one features my boy Elton Mulenga, popularly known as Yola Mapulanga, aka Yo Maps, international artist.
Let's go.